Hello, everyone. I am doing something a little bit special tonight. I'm going live on 3 platforms. So bear with me while I start them all up. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Looks like people are already sending in gifts. I appreciate that. Okay. So I think we are all set. Everybody's joining in. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, so I'm going to be rotating between TikTok here, YouTube here, and Instagram. So make sure you say hello, and we will see which platform has the most active people. If this is your very first time tuning in, very glad to have you. We have a little thing that we like to do where you drop your city and state, or if you're outside the US, just drop your country and let me know if this is your first time. You could say newbie. If you have been here before, you can type your city and state and put OG. So go ahead and leave your city and state, and I will do my best to keep up with the comments. TikTok, you guys can't see the topic. I don't know how TikTok does it, but we're going to be talking about 5 ways to know if a guy is wasting your time. So make sure you tune in and you go ahead and watch this, okay? If anybody prefers to watch on YouTube, YouTube is where I'm going to be taking questions. You can go to YouTube, just type in Chasing Yancy, and you will see the live stream there, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Also on YouTube, that's where you guys are going to see the banners. You could see what topic we're on. It shows that. So I have a lot more options there. So feel free to do that if you want, or you can stick here and watch here. We got Tobago. Oh, Michelle is tuning for Tobago. Very nice. Okay. I'll do a couple on each platform. But like I said, feel free to join in on YouTube if you guys want to be able to see all of the graphics. If you're just watching on Instagram and TikTok, you will not be able to see the graphics. We got Roxanne tuning in from Texas. And is it your first time watching? Good to have you guys. All right. Let me see. Instagram. Instagram is watching. They're not chatting yet. I see a bunch of y'all. You got to say hi if you tune in. Okay. And then let's see here. Okay, perfect. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to be starting right now. We're going to be talking about 5 ways to know if a guy is wasting your time. If you do better with video where you can see the topics pinned, the questions, and things like that, then you might want to head over to YouTube and watch it there. I am live right there right now. Those of you watching on Instagram, same thing. If you want to just type in Chasing Yancy, it is easier, in my opinion, to follow along on YouTube. But feel free to stay where you are. I will only be taking questions on YouTube because it is easier to see the questions in the queue. All right, without further ado, let's get started. I'm giving you 5 ways to know if a man is wasting your time. This is so important for you to know. Completely forgot I'm looking down. I got my camera here. I'm sorry, Instagram and YouTube. This is how you can know if a guy is wasting your time. Too many women, I'm going to back up and say this. Too many women get excited when they get attention. It's flattering. It makes a woman feel good. But the reality is, as women, we're awesome. God designed us to be beautiful. And so we're obviously going to get attention. Okay. It's going to turn a man's head. So I want you to know that attention isn't something that you should value or put a lot of stock into. It's kind of just a given. Okay. If you take care of yourself on any level, you're bound to get someone's attention. You hear women say, I don't want to get attention. And so they dress down and they cover up and they still get attention. So you're going to get attention if you take care of yourself on some level. Okay. So we have to stop making this be something that we're super, super, super excited about. It's the very first thing that gets us off to the wrong start. Hello, Love Life Travels. Good to have you with us. Good to see you. And so it's really important, first thing. So if you're a young girl, or maybe you just haven't had anybody tell you, you're going to get caught up on the flattery of it. It's the excitement that, oh my God, someone is giving me attention. The other thing that you're going to be thinking about is the fact you're going to be looking at through your eyes. As a woman, you're going to say, well, if he's paying attention and giving me attention, that must mean he likes me, because I don't give men attention I don't like. I don't give attention to men who I am not interested in being around. Now, I will give you this little caveat though. Sometimes women at the beginning stages, or of their journey, they can give men attention who they're not fully interested in for reasons because they're getting something from a guy. So in some ways we can do this too if we're not healed. We can have a guy stick around because he's giving us attention. It boosts our ego. Or maybe he's giving you resources. Some guys, take women out to eat, buy her food, maybe give her money. And if you really had to, do a lie detector test, it would show you weren't really interested, right? So before we try to act like guys are so different from women, they're not. Okay. We just have to understand and protect ourselves. Oh, we got a newbie from the Bahamas. Very nice. I recently went to the Bahamas, had a great time. Great people. Okay. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why men stick around even though they are not interested, because that is the question I get asked the most. Why? Why do guys do this? Why do guys do that? And it drives women crazy to not know why. Okay. All right. So the very first one, like I said, on YouTube is the only one who's going to be able to see the little oh no, I think Instagram. Let me know if you guys can see the banners on Instagram too. I forgot that I set it up to where you guys can see. So I think Instagram will see the banners. TikTok, you guys are the only ones who will not see the banners unless you want to go to YouTube and see it there. But the very first thing is that he is going to give inconsistent effort. Okay. The reason why he's not going to put in a lot of effort and it's not going to be consistent is because he doesn't have to. He's not trying to win. He's not trying to win your heart. He's trying to do just enough to keep you hooked. And these guys know that this is not going to work on a woman who has self-love. She knows her worth. She has high self-esteem and she has standards. But they don't care because this is a numbers game. They're going to do as much as they can to however many women, and the ones who don't know better will keep them around. Okay? So what does the bare minimum look like? Drop in the comments, what kind of bare minimum has a guy given to you? It will be things like texting you, right? And this is the worst. I always say when a guy won't even say, "What are you up to?" He'll say WYD. He just puts an acronym. He can't even be bothered to text the whole thing out. Okay. Hey, Melanie, good to see you, love. Give me some other ways you've seen guys do low effort. He's not going to be consistent, right? Like sometimes he texts you, sometimes he doesn't. He's not going to bother calling you. Oh my God, that's way too much energy and time. He's not interested to do that. Okay. Um, and so it's not going to be a lot. You cannot rely on him. And so the worst thing is that when you don't know your standards, when you don't have standards, you are going to think, I have to uh, be more so that he will want me. Okay. She said, mine would text, hey there. Yeah. Low effort, right? You might think, oh, well, I got to step it up, or I got to make sure I'm this or I'm that. Here's the thing. If a guy shows up in your life giving you low effort, he has already decided where he wants you to be. And if you've been around on my page for a while, you know this. Men put you in 2 categories when they are getting to know you. They have the women that they actually want to pursue and potentially take you home to meet mom, or they have the women who they want to take home to bed. Okay. Those are generally the 2 categories that men put you in. And then there's a little bit of a kind of a middle ground if the guy is maybe far away or you're not even worth the effort in his eyes to actually go all the way to the end zone, so to speak. But you do get something he does get something from you. Okay. So he's getting an ego boost because a pretty girl like you is responding. She's giving him attention, especially if you get bothered when he's not doing what you want and you send him these really long text messages like, you really let me down when it was my birthday and you didn't remember, blah, 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 blah. The fact that you're getting all flustered and worked up over a guy who hasn't even earned his way into your heart, that is an ego boost. That makes him pop his collar. He is like, oh, I am doing something right. So the fact that he is getting texts back from you, getting phone calls picked up from you, this is just giving him dopamine hits, dopamine hits, dopamine hits. And I want you listening to this to allow that to make you upset and say, I'm not going to be somebody's supply for free. She said almost 3 years. He asked for a break, 2 months. I'm giving him a permanent break. Yes. When I saw a break, I was like, no, no, no. Yes. Permanent break. That is awesome. 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 Okay. And so he's getting this boost because he's like, I didn't have to hardly do anything. Another reason why he's going to do this, put in very inconsistent effort, besides the obvious, is because you're letting him, is you're a great vibe. You're great to talk to. Feminine energy is amazing. And if you are doing things for him, cooking, cleaning, maybe watching his kids, you're adding value to his life. Don't let these red pill podcasters confuse you and think that you have no value. Okay, we're talking about what do you bring to the table. You can add a lot of value to a man's life, just by your energy, just being somebody to listen to. I had a guy say, one of the reasons why he liked going to a strip club is because it was great having a woman listen to him. Okay, we obviously know that he knows she's biased, but there's just something about a woman who could just listen. I just did a video about this where I asked the guys, I did a poll on my men's page. I have a private page for men. And I did a poll and I said, what do you value the most? If you had a choice when you come home, what would you prefer? One was your wife to look beautiful. Two, have the house clean. Three, have the meal ready, have dinner ready. Or four, be in a great mood. And you know what the overwhelming majority of men said? They said they would want her in a good mood. Why? Because feminine energy is epic. It is everything. We can make or break a day. If we're in a great mood, it's amazing for the guy. If we're in a bad mood, it's terrible for him. Men love having us around. Okay. So it's a sad day when a woman doesn't understand her worth and she's just giving away her awesomeness for free. As the old timer said, why would he buy the cow if he can get the milk for free? Understand your milk is extremely valuable, ladies. Okay. All right. I'm dating someone since for 1 month and he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend, but he called me his girlfriend. That's probably mind games. He should be asking you, or you can ask him for clarity and say, I heard you call me your girlfriend. Did you want to be in a relationship with me? By the way, guys, if you do want to submit your questions, go ahead and watch on YouTube because then your questions will stay put. I can actually go and see them. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram, I don't. It doesn't let me see the comments yet, so you guys will have to go to YouTube, although you can see the titles, okay? So we're talking about why he is not showing up, why he's not giving a ton of energy. Yes, you're welcome. But the number one thing we're still on is inconsistent effort. So these are 5 clear signs that a man is just wasting your time, and we just finished number 1, inconsistent effort, okay? And I keep saying this for the new people coming in. If you want to be able to see the topics that are listed, that whichever number we're on, you can see it on YouTube. Just type in Chasing Yancy, same name I have here, and you'll be able to see it. Thank you so much, you guys. I don't understand TikTok yet, but I do see gifts and things like that, sending roses and all that stuff. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gifter badges, that is amazing. Thank you so much. And of course on YouTube, if you guys want to do love offerings, you can do so right there in the app. I always appreciate that. Haven't heard from him since early this morning, but he said, but he always wants to throw the I love you around. Yep. We got to see consistent effort. Okay. So number 2, let's get into number 2, ways that you can tell he is just wasting your time. Vague future talk. He is not going to say, hey, next year I want to do this, or, after the summer I want to do this. I definitely want to marry you. He's not going to talk about the future very clearly. He might very vaguely maybe allude to it, like maybe next year if we're still blah, 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 right? He might slip up and say if, showing that he's not really sure. But he'll be really vague, like we'll see, or someday, or, we'll figure it out. And this is my favorite when you first get started. Let's just go with the flow. Okay. You're not out at sea. You're not drifting. There's no going with the flow. Thank you guys for the gifts. There's no going with the flow. Take it day by day. It's obvious that, that you guys have to feel each other out and see if you're a fit, right? You're not going to meet the guy and the next day he's going to ask you to be his lady. I mean, although my guy tried to do that to slow him down, but that's not the norm. That is not the norm. Normally he has to take time, vet you, see if you're actually wifey material. Okay. But if a guy is just like, oh, we're just going to go with the flow, that is a huge, huge, huge red flag. And what he's doing is he's prepping you. He's priming you to accept mediocrity. He's priming you to lower the bar, accept very, very little effort, because he's already letting you know, I don't know what I want. I just kind of want to take it a day at a time. Okay. You're not there for someone to just take it a day at a time. You guys should both be intentionally vetting each other. And when you're vetting seriously, it does not take you long to rule somebody out. Okay. It does not take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to know if you want to rule somebody out. Okay. Okay. So let's get to, this is the other thing. He's never going to even lock in plans, even as far as like the weekend. He is not going to say Saturday I'm going to take you out, or he's not going to buy concert tickets 2 months in advance. He is not going to do a lot of stuff in the future because he doesn't know from one day to the next which woman he's going to be giving his time to. Okay. All right. Let me know if this is your first time watching my live stream. Comment newbie if it is, and then let me know where you're watching from. If you're outside the US, just drop your country. If you are watching in the US, drop your city and state. But let me know if you are a newbie. If it is not your first time watching a live stream, drop OG, and I will know that you have been around before. All right, Viva is first timer from Chicago. Very nice. We got a newbie in the UK. Very nice. A newbie in Nebraska. Oh, Wendy says, I love your content. Newbie in the Inland Empire. Hey, it's the IE. Hey, girl. Cali girl here. Chicago is your first time. Let's see. We got a newbie in New Jersey, or excuse me, New York. I can't read. We got another newbie in Phoenix, Arizona. A lot of newbies here in TikTok. Good to have you guys. Good to have you guys. We are on number 2. He's going to have a vague future talk. By the way, real quickly, if you guys don't know, in my bio, both on Instagram and TikTok, because I'm on 3 platforms right now, you guys, those of you on YouTube, you're going to have to go to one of those 2 platforms. I do have a link in my bio. There are free resources there. So if you want to get a resource for free, you can. One is a list. It's both of them are guides, but one's a list of 22 places you can meet men offline if you're tired of dating apps. I love them. That's where I met my man, but not a lot of people are fans of dating apps. So if you want to meet men offline, I gave you some great places to meet them and why it works. And the other resource you can get is 5 ways to make a man feel emotionally safe. Because if you've been following my content for a while, you know it's not enough to be physically attracted to a woman. A man must also be emotionally bonded to her. So if you want to find out how to connect with a man emotionally, grab that free guide that will put you on my email list. You can unsubscribe at any time if you don't want to stay on, but most people want to stay on because I give you good stuff. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. We're talking about 5 ways to know that he is just wasting your time. Because time is our most precious commodity and we don't want to waste it. Okay, number 3, situational availability. He's only going to contact you at certain times, and there are going to be times that are very convenient for him. All right. Mostly it's going to be in the evening when he's feeling a little frisky, shall we say, when he's hoping that, it's booty call hours. He can get you to come by or let him come by. He's not invested. He hasn't talked to you through the day. He doesn't know that you had a really stressful meeting and your boss made you really mad. He doesn't know that you've been battling a fever because he doesn't talk to you throughout the day. He just waits till the evening when it serves him and then he hits you up. And again, it's not for a great conversation. It's usually hey, big head, what are you up to? Okay. So look at the people with situationships. You guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? So these are signs so that you can avoid this guy and don't second guess yourself and say, well, he hasn't done anything bad. He hasn't been mean to me. He hasn't whatever. So maybe I shouldn't let him go. No, even if he hasn't done bad stuff, he also has to go to the other side of the spectrum and do enough good stuff. So if he hasn't done enough to earn your time, do not give him that. And don't think that he's dumb. These men are not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. They know they're manipulating you. Oh my God. One of these guys was telling a story about how he had a local girl who was his hometown hookup, as he put it. Okay. Hometown hookup. She knew she wasn't his girlfriend. He knew she wasn't his girlfriend. But because she didn't value herself, she kept sticking around, kept sticking around, kept sticking around. So he ends up meeting this girl. I think that it was either his friend introduced her or somehow he met this other girl. Doesn't matter how. So he met this other girl and she was going to be in town and he was going to a party. And so he wanted to bring the new girl, the new chick, but his hometown girl ended up being at the party. And so what he did was he told the new girl, oh, I want to go get us some drinks or whatever. So he leaves her in the one room and goes and finds the hometown hookup to make sure he can finesse the situation. Y'all, this is diabolical. So he tells the hometown hookup girl, oh, hey, what are you up to? Whatever. And he ends up picking a fight with her. He picks a fight with her. And so she's all upset. And I think she was asking him, like, why haven't I heard from you or whatever? And he tells me, he purposely caused this issue so that he could kind of give her the cold shoulder. And then she's going to think that he's flirting with this new girl to get under her skin. Okay. So he's able to keep her at bay. He's entertaining the new girl the whole time. And then days later, you guys will never guess what happened. The hometown hookup called him to apologize because he pulled back even more after the event. Now she's remorseful, thinking that she messed up and she's got to earn his good graces back. She's like, I overreacted. I'm really sorry, blah, 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 blah. And he's over here. Now he gets to go back to his local hookup. And then, he's keeping the other girl entertained, doing whatever. You guys, I want you to hear this stuff and get pissed off. You are nobody's entertainment. You are nobody's something to do when I'm bored. Okay. This is why you have to raise your standards. And if you don't know how to raise your standards, and that just sounds like something you hear a lot of people say at self love, what does that look like? I made an entire course for you that walks all the way through that process. The very beginning portion is all about getting mentally prepared to date. If you are not ready, these men will chew you up and spit you out. Okay. You got to know what you're doing out here in these dating streets. It is rough in 2025. So he is only going to contact you late at night when he's bored, or worse, if his plans fell through with the woman he actually wanted. Weekends are for pulling new chicks. So you're not going to get a prime date. He's not going to hit you up on a Tuesday, making sure you're free for Saturday because he wants to hang out with you, because he hasn't been sitting around thinking about you, hoping that you could, be available and he could spend time with you. He has not been counting down the time he could spend with you. He actually went through his list and, the top people weren't available. Okay. So then he got down to you. Now, this is going to sound harsh. I'm very direct, and everybody knows my thing is you got to wear your big girl panties with me. But would you rather have the cold, hard truth from me and save you years of heartache? Or would you rather have someone coddle you and say things that are sweet to hear and then look up and you're in your 60s and you still don't have a man? Okay. I'm going to tell you straight up how it is. And unfortunately for me, I was taught all this stuff. I had to learn the hard way type of a thing. And I'm going to say this too. I got married at a very young age. I got married at 23. And my dad tried to teach me how to tell if a man is smitten with me or not smitten. I'll just put it like that. They have a term, the old timers call it nose wide open. And let's just say he could see that he wasn't smitten. And for me, I was just going off of, well, he asked me to marry him and he's asking me to be his girl. And he's asking, he's doing all of these things, but I didn't know exactly what to look for. And I'm telling you this, I'm telling you this, I'm telling you this. She said, newsflash, single at 60 is not a death sentence. It's not, but it can be very difficult if somebody wants to be in a relationship. And so you got to know the difference between if a man is smitten with you. So it's not enough that a guy just wants to be in a relationship with you, wants to take it to the next level, and shoot, he might even marry you and give you kids. You want a man who adores you. Just like if I was teaching men, you want a woman who admires you. Women need to be cherished and admired. Cherished and adored. Men have to. They crave this from their being. They crave respect and admiration. Okay, so if you want to have an actually enjoyable life, you need a man. You need to wait patiently for a man who adores you. Okay. So this guy, he is not going to hit you up unless it's late at night. He's bored. You are always going to be the backup plans. Okay. You're always going to be on his terms, at his convenience. He's not going to commit. If this is making sense, guys, drop some hearts. Let me know you're understanding. Let me know that you're following. Let me check in on Instagram and see. Okay. All right, cool. This technology is cool. Let me do 3 platforms at once. Okay. All right. So number 4, let me put this banner up for my YouTube crew and Instagram can see it. Emotional stinginess. Okay, good. You guys are following along. Number 4, this is top 5 signs that he is just wasting your time. He is not going to get deep emotionally. He is not going to want to talk about feelings. He is not going to want to get to know you on a deeper level. He's not going to care about your hopes and dreams. He is not going to care about your issues you're going through with your family, the problems you're having with your best friend. He is not going to go deep emotionally. You're going to have conversations that pretty much just talk about surface level things. And if he's really obvious, he's going to just be talking about sex. He's going to be flirting with you. He's going to be asking you for photos of yourself. And ladies, please, 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 please never have receipts. Not out here in 2025. Not out here where there is AI and all this stuff. Do not ever give a man receipts. I interviewed a guy who talked about what happens on the dark web, and there is stuff that is really, really scary. I'm talking about people passing around women's addresses, pictures. It's like underground porn, essentially. You do not want to send a man your picture, okay? Low key, I wouldn't even want to send it to a guy you are in a relationship with or even married to, because you just never know with the clouds and all this stuff what can happen. But I'm telling you, do not send a man pictures, okay? Especially if it's a situationship. So I'm saying you shouldn't be doing it, period, but especially if it's a situationship, you absolutely, positively should not be doing that. You should not be having phone, you know what, okay? You guys are basically giving this man everything that he wants, and you're not getting anything back. This is not a way to earn his heart. You don't earn a man's heart that way. A man decides if he values you. He sees what you have to offer. He sees what you're all about, and he decides that he wants that. Masculine men do not fall in love because a woman earns, okay? As women, we fall in love that way. A man earns his way into your heart. A man decides if this is the energy he wants, and then he sticks around. Now, of course, there are things you can do to deter him and turn him off, but you don't go earning him. Giving him sex does not earn him. Being available all the time does not earn him. Giving him money does not earn him. Taking care of things for him, cooking for him, helping with his resume, getting whatever. This actually does the opposite. When you extend and overextend to a man who knows he hasn't earned it, your value decreases in his mind. This is not even something that he thinks about consciously all the time. It happens subconsciously. Okay. So you want to be on the lookout for this. So number 4, you're gonna just get enough to stay hooked, but you're not gonna get enough to feel secure. He is not going to go deep with you emotionally. Okay. A lot of these guys who get off on situationships, they will keep you in limbo and intentionally not give you emotional clarity. They are not going to say, "I don't see a future with you." So you don't even have to bother asking. These guys are going to want to continue to get the goodness that you are without having to pay for it. My uncle's on here. Hey, uncle. Okay. So, number 5, we're talking about top 5 reasons that a man is just wasting your time. He is out there. Someone just asked, can you repeat the first 3? This is actually being recorded on YouTube. So if you guys want to go back and watch the replay, it is available on YouTube. Okay, top 5 ways to know a man is just wasting your time. So you can watch that. My channel, same name, Chasing Yancy. Okay. Also on YouTube, if you guys want to switch over to watch over there, that is where I'm taking questions. I only have one last point to make, and then I'm getting to your questions. So if you do want to ask questions, you can try to do it here on TikTok, although they scroll pretty quickly. Or if you want a guaranteed answer, you can put it on my YouTube. Okay. I'm live on YouTube and Instagram. Okay. All right. So number 5, top 5 ways to know he is absolutely wasting your time. He will not integrate you into his life. Okay. He is going to keep his life completely separate from yours. You are not going to meet his family. You are not going to meet his friends. You are not going to be, involved in his day-to-day life. Now, on the reverse, I want to say this: just because you meet someone does not mean that you're in there. But I'm telling you 100%, if he is not interested, he's definitely not going to be doing that. So pay attention if it's months and months and months and you just have not been brought in. Sometimes the mom is involved. Okay, I've seen that before. Moms will lie for their sons. They'll be like, "I just want to get involved." So just, okay, whatever. Hey, little girl, and they will not blow the boy's cover. So don't think just because you met the mom, but you want to see if this guy is integrated into your life. And these are very bird's eye view things that I can go into. But in my course, I go really, really deep into detail on what to look for specifically, what timeline, how guys move, how they fall in love. Because guys don't go, they're not like us, okay? They don't meet somebody, get smitten, and then they're just all in. Typically, it does happen sometimes, but there's a process that they go through, and you could see if he's kind of checking all these boxes as you go along. So I really recommend those of you who feel like, I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm out here winging it, I keep getting stuck in situationships, definitely consider taking the dating manual. I've had over 100 women take it. You can see their testimonials. It's super, super helpful. But let's get back. Number 5, you are not going to be integrated into your life. It does not take months for a man to know if he wants you. So if months have gone by and you still feel like you're an outsider, you're not in it for the long term. Okay. And we don't want a guy who takes all day to recognize sunshine, right? We want a guy who sees you, sees your value, he's intrigued enough to continue to dig and dig and dig and get to know you more and then make his decision. It's okay if he gets to know you and digs a little further and then realizes you're not compatible. That's totally fine. That's called vetting. Not every guy is going to fall in love with you. That would be major ego for you to think that. But a guy who knows he doesn't want to and just keeps you hanging on and on and on, that's what we want you to avoid. Okay? So that was 5 ways to know that a man is just wasting your time. This is a situationship. I truly, truly hope that the women who pay attention to my content can start this revolution. You guys, we have so much control as women. We have started over the past couple of years to give it away because there's been a lot of messages out there to take us off of the pedestal that we were always on. If you think about it, okay, back in the day, what would happen when a woman walked into a room? The men would stand. If there were no seats available, he would offer her seat. If they were cursing, they would stop cursing. If she needed something, they would aid her, right? If there was danger, they would protect her and children first. Women have always been on a pedestal. Men would go to war for a woman, they would die just for a woman's honor. So we have only come recently to this place where we don't realize who we are. And feminine energy is amazing. It is soothing. It is comforting. It pushes men to be better versions of themselves because they know that the more they acquire, the more they achieve, the better a woman they can get. It's a sign of status. Companies will look at a man and see if he's married or not. Men will judge other men based on the woman on his arm. We have to understand our value as women. And the biggest thing that men have to work in their advantage is if women don't know their value. They'll just accept whatever little breadcrumbs are tossed their way and they're going to be excited about it. Oh, thank you for this crumb, good sir. No, you need to understand that you are divine in your feminine energy, okay? And it's not to say that you don't have work to do. It's not to say that there isn't any room for improvement, which is why I have my course and I teach women how they can improve themselves. I'm not saying that every woman is just this catch, right? But you have inherent value within yourself. And the things that you do can take away your value, but inherently you have value. Men desire you. They will want you. They will do whatever it takes to have you. And if you've never experienced a man really putting gas, pushing on the gas and really pursuing you properly, you might think, well, this just happens in the movies. No, ma'am. When a man is truly interested in you, he is going to pursue you properly. And once you get a taste of that, even if the relationship doesn't work out long term, you will never, ever, ever go back to mediocrity. You would rather be by yourself, pursuing your hopes and your dreams, than to allow a man access to you. Okay? That's like being a chef and you, like, let's say a cake baker, and you spend all this time and energy making these cakes, 6 layers, 7 layers, and all this, you're spending your money and you're just giving the cake slices away. No, you're like, I'm going to put this in the fridge until somebody places an order. Or maybe you just let them see what you're capable of doing, but you're not going to start investing in baking and buying all these ingredients until he's made a deposit. Try to make this metaphor work here. But you worked really hard. A restaurant, you would never let people just come in and just eat at your restaurant. You're like, no, I want paying customers. I'm going to wait until there's a paying customer. The reality is that the problem here is not truly the guy. A guy is going to try you. The problem is that you don't have vetting skills and you don't respect yourself enough. Either it's out of ignorance, you don't know what to do, or you don't truly believe that you deserve it. Maybe growing up, you were told you're not worth anything. Maybe you just have a low sense of self. But either way, a man is not showing up properly. Okay. I'm going to start actually with the questions right now. We're going to do live Q&A. I just realized that I never put the last one up for you guys. I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. No integration in his life. I'll start with this first question. What do you mean by pursuing you properly? And if I see the questions on TikTok, I'll answer them. Otherwise, I will cater to the ones here on YouTube. And then same thing with Instagram. If I happen to see it on Instagram, I'll ask, but it's harder to toggle. So the question is, what do you mean by pursuing you properly? Not to keep plugging my course, but I can't ever go into as much detail as I can in the hours and hours and hours of my course. But in a nutshell, pursuing you properly means he's actually taking the time to get to know you. He's not just texting you, he's calling you. He's not just calling you, he's spending time with you. He's not just spending time with you, he's spending quality time with you. He's asking you questions, he's getting to know you. He's trying to see if you fit into his life. Do you guys have shared interests and goals? Because this isn't, high school or elementary school. Someone has a crush on you because you got a big old booty and a cute face. No, you actually have to see if you're aligned. Do you both want the same things? Do you both desire marriage? Do you both love the Lord? Do you want to raise the children in the faith? Do you want to live in the city? Do you want to live in the suburbs? Are you going to be a strict parent? Are you going to be a laid back parent? Maybe you don't want kids. Maybe you don't want marriage. Maybe you both just want to be partners. You have to be aligned on the things that matter. And so he is going to be actively vetting you. Another tip I'm going to give you guys, because I'm just feeling a little bit generous today. When a man is truly interested in you, do you know what he doesn't push for? Yeah, she said this is what my situationship was lacking, the whole part of getting to know each other. That is the most fundamental part. That is the number one red flag. He is not going to try to get to know you because he doesn't want to get to know you. He just needs to suck the energy out of you like an energy vampire. Okay? Um Doggone, I lost my thought. Oh, what he's not going to do is he is not going to press you for sex. Men know that women who, okay, this generation is a little different, but women who are healthy, and I'm gonna just say it. I know it's a polarizing statement, but women who are healthy value sex, and they are not just going to give it out willy nilly. And so they're gonna clam up if a guy comes out the gate pushing for sex. Okay, a woman in a healthy state who knows her worth, she is not just going to give it freely. So guys who are actually interested, they are not going to come out the gate asking for sex. They know that once a woman's feelings get involved, she'll pretty much just offer it to you. So if a guy is coming out the gate, he's not trying to get to know you and he's trying to get some cheeks, I mean, the flags could not get redder. They are crimson. They are the color of my lipstick and my nails. Okay? Red flags. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop your questions and I will answer them. She said, thank you for shedding light. Absolutely. I've been dating him for 4 months. He never gets me flowers and he says he intends to commit soon. Time will tell. Okay. And something specifically as flowers. I really didn't have guys give me flowers, but a lot of women love flowers. And so if that's something that you like, you could always get yourself flowers. And then when he sees them, say, oh, who got those for you? Say, oh, I love flowers. They just make me so happy. And then see what happens. Okay. She said, I saw all of this. Do I wait for flowers? I love them. And yes, I get them for myself. Ah, look, there's a delay. So that's funny. We were saying the same thing. I would, but there's nothing wrong with letting a guy know what he likes, but I would also need more context to kind of see how he's showing up. What are your thoughts on dating a retired military man? No issue against that. He got mad the last time I posted the flowers I got myself. I would ask him why. Ask him why he got upset about that. Do guys chase more when you tell them you don't want a boyfriend, that they need to change your mind? I think a toxic guy would chase more because a healthy man, if you said I'm not interested in a relationship and a guy genuinely wants a relationship, he would leave because he's not going to play games. So if you really if you're saying that and a guy is still trying to change your mind, I'd be a little bit concerned that he was just somebody who's in it for the chase, who's just he's just going after that. Okay. Okay. Oh, she's making me work tonight. She said, I'm going on a date Friday. What are red and green flags to look out for? Okay. So this is a little bit of a meatier answer. But I will do my best to give you something quality here on this, short live stream. You want to pay attention. First of all, actually, I should say, is this a first date? Is this a first date that you're going out with this guy, Wendy? I want to know if it's a first date. That does make a difference. Okay. He plans dates and seems interested, but I don't know if I should wait for commitment after 4 months. 4 months is a long time to not have anything going, Debs. So you could just say, hey, I really want to make sure that I'm spending my time intentionally, and I'm sure you do too. I'm just curious to see, where do you see this going? Because I want to know if we're on the same page or not. And it's absolutely fine if we're not on the same page. I just want to compare notes. So if it's been 4 months, there's nothing wrong with asking that and see if he kind of dodges the question or if he answers directly. But it does not take a man that much time to know if he wants to have a woman in his life. They're very territorial. So Wendy said it's her first date. Okay, first date. Y'all, this is probably the most generous I've been in a live stream. So soak it all in, okay? On a first date, the biggest thing you want to pay attention to is how you feel. as women, and we have a very specific type of woman. That's the content I make. The woman that I make content for is the woman that I used to be. So I know her very well. That's why so many women are like, "Oh my God, it feels like you're reading my journal." That's because I've been there, done that. This was my life. Okay. But what you want to do is you want to pay attention to how you feel. Too many women are focused on, is he liking me? Does he like me? Is he into me? Am I doing things right? Am I showing up the right way? I want you to normalize being you, being your radiant you, being your awesome self, and see if you like him. So that's the first thing that I want you to do is see how you feel about him. Also, take time to see, is he actually trying to get to know you? Is he trying to get to know you? So that's a great question about the financial difficulties. I hope that you go to YouTube and type that here so that I can save it and remember to ask. Because, like I said, on TikTok, it flows, they go so quickly. So I can't answer everything on TikTok. But if you go to YouTube, type in Chasing Yancey, you'll see the live stream and post your question there. Pay attention to how you feel. See if he's actually getting to know you. Is he trying to get to know you? See how he treats you. Is he chivalrous? Is he courteous? You want to pay attention to those things. So I would say those are probably the biggest things I could give you if I'm trying to just answer quickly. Okay, so I just remembered the question about financially. This is a question or a video that I did a long time ago, and it has just been going viral on YouTube. I do not recommend dating a man who is financially struggling. The reason why is this. It's not because you don't have the heart to love him. Child, we will grab a man in the dumpster and love him back to life, right? So that's not an issue. Hey, Latoya. That is not the issue. The issue is because how I was talking about the goodness of a woman, how awesome she is and her feminine energy, and men just can't get enough of it. Well, men have masculine energy, and that's what's so sexy. That's what's so intoxicating for us. That's what drives the polarity, right? What brings us together. Well, men do not feel in their most masculine when they're not financially where they need to be. Okay. Because women and our feminine, we're all about being, right? We're existing. We're appreciated for who we are, our essence. Men, we value men based on what they could do. And that sounds so terrible, but it's true. How men can provide, how they can be there for us. Masculine is about supporting and providing stability for us, whether it's emotional stability, financial stability, physical stability. Okay. And so if a guy is not in that place where he can do that, he usually doesn't feel like he is at his best. He doesn't feel as much of a man. I just did a live stream a couple weeks ago with this huge creator. He gives beautiful advice to women. Like he's going to be a great catch to somebody. And he asked me that question. He's like, do you think I should be dating if I'm not where I want to be financially? And I said, no, based on the questions that I asked him, which is why it's always hard to do these questions live where I can't ask you more questions for context. But I could tell by the things that I asked him, he doesn't feel his best. And so as women, we'll say things like, no, it's okay. And I don't mind this. And, we don't have to go on fancy dates and all that stuff. It's not about us. I learned that the hard way. Oh, I learned that the hard way. Okay. And by the time he finally got to where he wanted to be, guess what? Boop, he up and picked somebody else. So I would not do that. I would not deal with somebody who is struggling. Or at least I would really, really, really kind of have my guard up. It's just rough. Okay. She said, this alone has caused my relationship so many problems. He is broke. It is horrible. It's rough. It changes the dynamic quickly. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? A broke man is an angry man. That's actually kind of accurate. Or they're depressed or, all these other things. You guys, I just finished doing 5 ways to know a man is wasting your time. The replay is going to be available on YouTube. I'm also recording on YouTube right now. YouTube, give you some love. Instagram, same thing. So if anyone wants to go back and watch the replay, you can watch that here. I do longer form videos on YouTube, by the way. I'm going to be getting back to doing those because I have slacked off trying to do all these little short videos for TikTok and Instagram. But YouTube, I'm coming back, okay? But any other questions before I go? I'm doing free Q&A. Also, DNA is very different. Q&A. Oh, she said, I'm blinded by the rain. Congratulations. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. She goes way back to my Facebook days, y'all. Way, way, way back. She said a broke man is dangerous. Okay, so any other questions? Any other questions? Not my fiance being on here. How long does the guy pay for dates? Does he stop? Does he stop? Yeah, I'm very traditional. I'm very old fashioned. Most masculine men take pride in paying for the dates. So this is what you have to understand. Um, she said, "What is your YouTube info?" Chasing Yancy. So just same as TikTok, chasing Yancy. Thank you. I'm glad it's taught you so much. What was the question? Oh, so you have to understand that what you bring to the table is different than men. So many people have pushed this narrative. Remember, I told you there's a lot of stuff that has taken women off of our pedestal that we are naturally on, that men love to have us on. Um, One of the things you have to understand is that we are not the same. We are both valuable. One is not better than the other, but we are not the same. It is like limes and lemons. Okay, there are two different types. One is great in a lemon meringue pie. Another is great, with a beverage. They have two different roles, and they function really well together if you have a lemon lime soda. Okay, so men and women come together like a yin and a yang, and we are complementary. Men do not have a problem footing the bill. They do not have a problem being chivalrous. What they have an issue with is that if you only take, and you don't give back, which might sound like a contradiction. Wait a minute. Why is it that you're saying they don't need you to do the stuff that they're doing, but they want you to give back? They want you to give back in your own way. So there's a feminine way, which I'm not going to go into because it's long and lengthy. I teach that in my course. There is absolutely stuff that you can do as a feminine woman that makes a guy go, I will keep paying. I will keep paying. I mean, you look at this is a kind of a crass example, but you think about OnlyFans. Men pay thousands of dollars just to watch a woman on the screen. You have to know what a man is looking for, and he is going to just keep paying for it, right? And I'm not talking about in a gold digger sense. If you understand what motivates a masculine man, that is the least that they can do. I like to use the analogy of a Beyonce concert, right? If you really enjoy Beyonce, you value her presence, you value her music, you value an experience with her, you're going to think nothing of going to her concert. You're going to keep paying for her concerts. You're going to go to as many as you can afford. You're never, ever, ever going to sit there and be like, when is Beyonce going to take me out? When is Beyonce going to come buy me lunch? Doesn't Beyonce see how many concerts I've gone to? No, Beyonce's just going to keep Beyonceing. And you're going to happily keep buying her stuff. Okay? I don't want you to breeze past this. This is huge. When your mindset shifts, you're not playing a game, you're not acting a role. When you truly understand you are someone's Beyonce, it's a game changer. Okay? Somebody asked a question. Oh, why do men come back once they've ghosted you? Glad you asked that. Okay, I've done a couple videos on this, but you might not have seen it. The reason why men come back into your lives after disrespectfully ghosting you is because you allow it. Now, I know that's not what you're asking me. You want to know the psychological reasons why, but I have to put that in there because we need to stop being concerned about why crappy people do crappy things. We have to focus on what we can control. Beyonce isn't worried about why people don't buy their tickets or why somebody's trying to bootleg her CDs, right? She is worried about the things that she needs to worry about. But I will answer your question the way that you asked it, okay? You probably looking for. They thought the grass was green on the other side. Someone caught their interest and they tried it until either she got sick of him or this girl actually had standards and he realized that she wasn't going to deal with his foolishness. She wasn't going to take the little breadcrumbs that he was tossing her every now and then. And he was like, "Oh crap, well this chick, Lisa takes it, so I'll go back to her." The audacity to come back after treating you that way, you should be pissed off. You should not be flattered, or your heart should not skip a beat because he came back on the scene. You should be pissed off at the audacity. You should look at that text like this. Your lip should curl. Like, I can't even believe you fixed your little fingers to type, and then they're going to come back with some, hey, hi, what's up? Don't entertain it. Don't ask him where he's been. Don't write him a long paragraph because you know what that paragraph says? She still has feelings for me. Move on. Block him. Do whatever you need to do. The disrespect. You really have to understand that when a man is in alignment with you and he finds you attractive and he enjoys your energy and he's in the right place in life, because that's all the things that need to happen, He will go above and beyond. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river wide enough, right? The old school song. You need to never accept less than. Why does a guy break up with you but wants to spend time with you afterwards but with no commitment? You just answer your own question, baby girl. He doesn't want the responsibility. I've said this in other videos. For a woman, a relationship means this: support, security. It's like being on your feet all day and sitting in a chair, a comfortable chair. That's what a relationship is for a woman. For a man, it's like having a baby. It's a commitment. We love the little Gucci little baby and their cute little thighs and their fat little feet. And oh, but it's a freaking commitment. It's expensive. It's time consuming. There's a lot you have to endure emotionally. Okay. So you have to understand, if you could have a baby, perfect example. Thank you, God. If you could have a cute little baby, not have to go through labor, not have to go through the 9 months of pregnancy, right? Someone else will birth it for you. At nighttime, when you want to sleep, someone else watches the baby. When they spit up and all that stuff, someone deals with all the things that are not rewarding. But you got to just hold the baby whenever you wanted, do all the cute little pictures, go to Disneyland, and have all these little milestones and whatever. Who wouldn't choose that, right? Like, if there was a way to do that, that's what it's like for guys with situationships. They want the cute little baby experience, but they don't want to burp them and change the diaper and actually have to pay for food and all that stuff. Okay. Exactly. That's why I said, why buy the cow? Why buy the cow? For you guys, it means something to be locked in and be committed. It means something to women because you guys keep thinking like women, which you naturally do because you're a woman and you're thinking from the feminine. This is why I have my course, because when you understand what motivates the masculine, when you understand what freaks out the masculine, have been eating out of the palm of your hands. And I can't say on my platforms everything I can say in the course. Okay. I don't need men understanding everything I know. Okay. Even my guy, when he found out what I do, because I put off telling what I do for a long time, he freaked out. He was like, "Did you manipulate me in some way? Did you kind of like bamboozle me?" I was like, "No." As I said, you're a salesperson and you've done neuro linguistics training and you know certain clue words if someone's tapping you. So I say, "Did you manipulate me?" He said, "No." I said, "No, but I do know what I know. And so it's going to help me to make certain decisions better." But you never were doing anything without your own consent. It wasn't like I did voodoo or, hypnotize you or something like that. I just understand what makes men feel good. And you do those things. But a lot of women do things that make men feel good, but they don't know how to get what they want in return. So it's like creating a restaurant. People are raving over your food and you just keep giving it away. Just keep giving it away. Just keep giving it away. And then you think, if I keep giving it away and they notice how delicious it is, one day they're going to sign up to be a paid patron. It doesn't work that way. You got to make the most appealing food possible. You got to find a price that is affordable, make the environment really, inviting, and the patrons will come. It's the same way with women. Okay? How to get out of the friend zone. You can't. Is that a guy or a girl? I think it's a girl. How to get out of the friend zone. You can't. A man will, if he wants you, he is going to go after you. This is where once you guys get the cheat code, you will never, ever, ever be bamboozled again, because men are so black and white. When they want something, I'm not even keeping up with the banner. Sorry, y'all on Instagram and YouTube. When he wants something, he will go after it. If he's not going after it, there is a reason. And the only time there's a little bit of a difference, if it's like he's not playing games, it's because it's not the right time. But even if it's not the right time, that's not the right thing for you. He's not going to show up in the way that you want. So you have to trust. If you believe in God, you gotta believe that He's got your back. Pray for your partner. In your singleness, pray for your partner. Get rid of all the cobwebs. What are the cobwebs? Situationships. Clear that out. I'm telling you, somebody was like, "Oh, well, just because you get rid of somebody, it's not going to be like your situation where 2 weeks later you meet somebody." I'm telling you, you have no idea the butterfly effect. Maybe you're sitting up on the phone cupcaking, because the guy said he was going to call you, your situation said he was going to call you, and your girlfriend asked you to go do something. And maybe if you hadn't been cupcaking with the guy, you would have gone with your girlfriend, and at your girlfriend, you would have bumped into this guy who was your forever person, right? Like you never know what could be happening. Maybe because you got the situationship, you don't have the emotional. Like I'm a one girl guy, even if we're not even in a relationship. Like I can't have my heart be with multiple people. So I'm not on a dating app. I'm not swiping, getting to know guys when I'm have a situationship. Clear up the cobwebs. And if you're afraid to be alone, if you're hanging on to a situationship just because you're afraid of being alone, baby girl, you have work to do. You have work to do. Why does he go all day with texting or call, but text late at night? Meaning without texting or calling. I'm assuming you mean why does he go all day and out all night without texting? He texts late at night because that's when he's horny. He's texting late at night because that's when he's bored. He's got stuff going on during the day. I'm telling you guys, when people work in a bank, they study real money. She said, I spoke to Sudi, just texted. Absolutely block him. Block him on everything. Okay. At banks, they study real money. Why? Because then when they see counterfeit, they immediately know it's not the real thing. You don't need to study counterfeit to know the real thing. You study the real thing and you immediately know it's counterfeit. When you understand how a man moves when he really, really wants you, you will never settle for anything less. And this is what shocks women when they start doing this. When my girls go through my course and they start vetting, they're like, oh, people are getting cut off left and right. They're getting cut off left and right. And it feels scary. But the reality is, it's no different than how it was before. You just actually have clarity. So the guys that were situationshipping you, you just felt like you had somebody around. You have nothing to show for it. Look at your left hand. There is no ring on your finger. So just because you had someone, no, you had someone circling the drain. You didn't have someone. Having someone is somebody you can call if you get a flat tire. Having someone is, you're in a pinch and you don't know what to do. Having someone is somebody that knows they're aligned with you and they see a future with you and they want to move forward with you. Not somebody who knows your phone number. That should be a privilege. Y'all, if I'm helping y'all, feel free. I don't know if TikTok does any you guys can do tips or gifts or whatever. Feel free to do that. Instagram, I know you know how to do that. YouTube, you can. If I'm, as a preacher say, preaching good, go ahead and show some love. Thank you for the little emojis, you guys. Okay. I'm just starting to get to know this guy. What are the signs that there is someone else? That's the thing. You don't need to know signs there's someone else. You need to know the signs that he is into you. Okay. And I'll say this again. I have a course called the Dating Manual, and it goes very deep into this because I can only give you guys so much on these live streams. But one of the main things you're going to have is consistency. He is going to be like clockwork. Time is your most valuable resource as a man and a woman. And no man who is not interested in you is going to consistently give you energy. So he's going to be consistent. He is going to want to talk to you daily. He's going to want to hear your voice. He's going to want to make sure you're okay. But two, he is going to want to get to know you on a deeper level. If you only take those 2 or 3 things I gave you, those alone will eliminate most guys you're talking to. Most of those will eliminate most guys. Okay? So all of you who are asking these questions, right? I have a question I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. And I promise this is not a pitch. I have a challenge for you. Those of you who say that you're serious about getting in a relationship, you are serious about knowing whether or not a man is playing games with you or he is not. How many of you guys are serious enough to invest in yourselves? I ask this because the ladies who have invested in themselves, those are the ones who have self-love. They say, you know what? Instead of me going and dropping this on a brunch, or instead of me cracks me up how TikTok be like, your live's gonna end. Instead of you investing in more clothes or makeup that you don't need or overpriced, facial products, how about you invest in yourself? Invest in yourself so that you can actually get what you want. So many people who go through my course, like I said, end up in a relationship before it ends. I would never promise a man. Anyone who promises you a man who takes their course, that's a scam. Do not do it. But this stuff works. Okay. I've got the testimonies, I got the videos, I got everything. If you guys want to see, I'll even put you in touch with people who've taken the course. This is something that I do for a living because I'm passionate about it. And if I could do it for free, I would. I did it for 10 years for free. But then I just wanted to do it full time. And so I quit my job so I could really give you guys quality content. But this comes from a passionate place. I don't want you guys to have to go through unnecessary heartache. I want this to be passed down from mom to daughter to granddaughter and break these generational curses. I want you guys to understand the game. This is stuff that everybody knew just 2, 3 generations ago. This is stuff that your great grandma knew. Okay. And a lot of this stuff was just, the media has worked really hard to take you guys away from where your position is. You'll notice a lot of this stuff where it's like they're trying to compare men and women. We are not the same. Thank God. We are very different and we're meant to be compatible. We're not meant to compete. And so many of the content creators out there, they're trying to put content out there to make you guys compete. I am not about men competing with women. I'm about women understanding their feminine energy and the power that it is. Men have masculine energy, and it's like fire and water. Both are powerful. You can't say fire is more powerful than water, Hurricane Katrina. You can't say water is more powerful than fire. Hello, Malibu fires, you know, um, oh gosh, not Pasadena, but Altadena. Okay. Both are powerful things, but you want to put them together and you got polarity. Not only do I want you to be in a relationship, I want you to be in an enjoyable relationship. You guys, I have been married and I chose to walk away after 12 years, which was a painful decision because I have 2 kids. Okay. We had 2 kids together. But I'm telling you, I said, I cannot live with a man who does not adore me. I'm not talking about a man who grovels and just deals with anything. No, that would take away attraction, right? You need a guy who can stand up to you and be like, no, chick, you're tripping, right? But when I talk about the friendship at the base level, I'm gonna be a little personal right now. My guy and I are such good friends. I just texted my girlfriend a little bit before I got in this live stream with our little banter going back and forth with text. And it's awesome. It is like night and day. And it's really hard because I really want to go deep into my story, but I can't do it without talking about my ex-husband. And I swear I would not do that. But let me just say this situation, amazing. Always knowing where I stand, amazing. Knowing that he will never walk away, amazing. Of course, if I do something crazy, but that's never a threat. It is never oh, well, I'm going to leave you. There is a security. There is a peace. There is oh, our nervous system as women, we were not designed to constantly be looking out for threat. We're not designed for that. Okay. And situationships keep you constantly in that mode. Okay. Help me remember that question. Can a woman ever ask a man out? When you're in a situationship, you're always in this performance mode. I want to perform. I want to perform. I want to earn. I want to earn. I want to perform. I want to perform. I want to be good enough. I want to be accepted. That we are not designed for that. Oh, she sent hello from Texas. That's where I relocated to. From Cali, by the way, y'all. My honey was in Texas. I want you to understand what it's like so you don't settle for anything less. She said, can you ask a man out? You can do anything you want. I would not recommend that. What I would do is to use the term Matthew Hussey uses is drop the handkerchief. You can let him know you exist. Oh, we got someone from Chicago here. Good to see you. You can let him know you exist, right? So maybe if you're on a dating app, you could send a like. If you are in a location, you could walk in front so he sees you. Maybe if you're at a venue together, you could make small talk. All you want to do is let the man know that you exist on planet Earth. Shout out to Virginia. Good to have you. Let him know you're on planet Earth. And after that, let him take the lead. I'm telling you, if a man does not take the lead, if you put your hand in it, changes the energy. Change the energy. A man has to feel like he saw this woman, he got to know her, and decided that he doesn't want to do life without her. He needs to feel like he hit the freaking lottery. He needs to feel like, oh my God, I had to work for her, not playing games, but I had to work for her because she ain't for everybody. She ain't for the streets. She got a list of standards and requirements, and she's got some deal breakers, and I want to make sure I don't hit any of those. I had to work, and I landed her, and he will value you, baby. So I would not pursue a man on any level. I would let him know you exist and then let him do the work. And if he doesn't do the work, let it go. He could find you attractive, but he could not be single. He could find you attractive, not be in a position to be in a relationship. He could find you attractive, not want to commit. So let him go. Let him do his thing. Okay. I'm gonna take like two or three more questions and then I'm going to sign off. Y'all, it has been a couple hours. But you guys, seriously, I challenged you. I made my course ridiculously affordable. Okay. Those of you who did it live with me, it's not cheap, but I made a very affordable version online. And right now it is half off. So grab the course while you can. It's the dating manual. You guys can drop two or three more questions here, but I'm gonna tell you about the course. It is live. It has 8 modules. This is not some little like flimsy ebook. This is video lessons. So if you're learning from me how I'm talking, this is how I talk in the course. And I break it down with 8 modules. There are hundreds of hours. Okay. We go over getting mentally prepared. Everything is mindset. If your mindset is in the wrong place, all of your trajectory is going to be off. You need to shift your mindset and then you're on the right path. You need to understand men, how they work so that you can maneuver in the way that you need to. You need to understand how to flirt. That is a lost art. So many men say women do not know how to flirt. When you flirt, you will have amazing results. I have had great results from the women who use the flirting technique that I teach you about. Femininity. I teach you about femininity, how to present yourself as a feminine woman, how to think like a feminine woman, and how to, present yourself and behave. Okay. So your mannerisms, and basically it's like ladylike behavior. What else do we talk about? We talk about future. When you get into a relationship, what are things that you should be looking for in a mate and also using as a checklist? These are universal things that make a partner great to live with. It doesn't matter that you guys have chemistry. It matters that you guys are aligned. What else? What else? What else? We have what to do on the first dates, how to get you through dates 1 through 3. We go over a ton. You could look at the link in my bio, look at everything, see, like I said, look at the testimonials, see what people have to say. I've had people get married after this course. I want as many women as possible to take this course so that you know how to operate. You deserve it. Wouldn't it be awesome to know that this guy is into you, to have him be consistently calling you? You're not having to check your phone a million times. And if you miss a call from him, you know he's going to call back, or he knows that you'll call him back, when you get an opportunity. Wouldn't it be nice to know that you're going to see him every single weekend? Wouldn't it be nice to know that he sees a future with you and he's talking about next weekend and next month and next summer? You're meant to feel safe and secure. But so much of this, and this is not judgment, I can tell you guys need mindset shifts. The questions that you're asking teach me, tell me that your mindset needs to be shifted. So it doesn't matter what else you do if your mindset is off. That's one reason alone you should take the course. She said, I'm working on my doctorate. Do you think I should worry about dating during this time? I do not think that women should put off dating at all. I absolutely do not. I think that's something that as women, we were really sold wrong. I'm glad my parents did not do that. My parents were all about go to school and get your MRS. They pushed me to go to college, but they were absolutely like, find your man. Okay. Jasmine said, where do I find the course? If you go to the link in my bio, you can grab it. It's called the Dating Manual. Otherwise, you can just type in my name, chasingyansi.com/course. Okay. But you can just go to the link in my bio on TikTok, go to the link in my bio on Instagram, and you could see that there. Click it. Okay. Right now, it is half off. It is just there temporarily. It's just an introductory price, but then it's going to go to its normal price. We are no contact for almost 3 months. Why is he still paying my bills? Men do what they want to do. Hey, men do what they want to do. Okay. Just know though, that if you have a guy in your life and he's paying your bills, a masculine man is not going to want to deal with you. Okay. I would not, I would not advise that. He will not like that. Okay. She said it froze. I do advise on getting a higher education. Yeah, I'm saying, but don't say it's either or. Don't say I'm going to go to school I'm focused on my career or I'm going to look for love. No, you don't know when it's going to hit. You could meet him in school. When you're in college, especially in your 20s, that's when you're around the most of your peers who are kind of like at your level. So I would keep my head on a swivel. I would absolutely not reject men just because you're on this path. We can do a lot of things at the same time. Do not pass over love, because I hate to say this, but our market value does tend to go down over time. Men do value beauty and youth, just like we value wealth and wisdom. So men tend to accrue that over time. And as women, from the external shallow stuff, ours tend to go down over time. So take advantage of your youth. Those of you who are young and watching this, take advantage. Please do not run with that and say, I'm saying that older people can't find love. I found love in my 40s, okay, after getting divorced with 2 kids. That's considered baggage. So I'm never going to say that it's not possible. I'm saying it is easier when you're young and you are youthful and more fertile and you don't have, kids and all these things that are weighing you down, or maybe an obstacle or a deterrent for some men who maybe want to start fresh with, you as the mom of his kids. Any other questions? Any other questions before we go? You guys, I hope that you are not the type of women who are just looking for quick fixes. Is it possible at love? Absolutely. There are women who are finding love at 50, 60. Okay. I really, really hope that you guys take a look at the course. This is something that I have poured years into. And I'm going to say this too. A lot of people just slap stuff together because they're just trying to make a quick sale. I have been doing this for 10 years. And I started this course over a year ago. It's probably closer to 2 years ago. And I put the first version out and I made it dirt cheap. And I said, ladies, check it out. Let me know what you think. And each time I took their advice, I tweaked what I needed to tweak. They said, hey, we'd like more of this. We'd like less of this, whatever. I've done that for over a year. This is the course that has been vetted. Okay. The girls that have taken it, they rock with me. You'll see them on a lot of my live streams. There's one girl, actually, the one that I texted a little bit, we ended up becoming friends because I found out she lived 0.2 miles from her house. It was crazy. But I saw her go through the process. I saw her go from not knowing her worth to knowing her worth. I watched her vet different guys. And now she is with a guy who adores her and he openly talks about the future. They even went ring shopping. So I'm already waiting for the news when he finally decides. They just moved in together. And so I'm seeing this process, you guys, and it's not just her, it's multiple women. But it's been cool with her because I actually see her on a regular basis and have them over and all that stuff. She had a friend that she referred to with the course. She was really nervous about coming on. She had a lot of fear. She didn't realize how her fear of being hurt was really pushing men away. She didn't realize the stuff she was doing with her face that was pushing men away. And do you know, before we finished the course, because when they did it was live, so it was 8 weeks, she was in a relationship. They are still going strong. It's been months. That course ended in June, I think. That live one ended in June. So July, August, September. They're 3 months into the relationship. Okay. I'm telling you guys, you will love, love, love the course. Is it normal to move in with a guy after a couple of months? I don't know what you would consider normal, um, but I'm going to sound like a hypocrite. I would not recommend it. I would not recommend moving in unless I would not recommend it. I will just say it this way. I'm not going to put a caveat. If given the choice to stay together and live separately until you're married, I would absolutely say live separately until you're married. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. What is your view on dating men 5 to 8 years younger? I don't have an issue with that. Um, it's all about compatibility. I would just really see if you guys are at the same place in life, because it's not just about maturity. It's also like where you are. Do one of you wants to stay in, one of you wants to go out, finances, all that stuff. But depending on your age, what is your age? The woman asking 5 to 8 years younger, because there's a little difference if you're like 48 dating a 40-year-old versus if you're 32 and dating a guy in his 20s. So let me know your age. How many years did it take you to start dating after separating from your husband? I dated immediately, like immediately, because as women, we work our way up to it. Like it took me years to get the cojones to walk away. So once we actually split, I was like ready to go. 38, 32. Oh, that's not bad at all. I don't think that's bad at all. Guys in their 30s, much, much better. When they start getting 35, 38, even better. But I think you'd probably be safe. I would just keep your eyes wide open. No, I was ready to start. I actually dated way sooner than I should have because the reason I always say I know I was not prepared to date, even though I definitely did not want to be with my ex-husband, is because I cried on a date, maybe more than one date. But I remember being so mad and just talking about my situation. It was almost like I was venting to the guy I was getting to know, and I started crying. And so looking back, I'm just like, oh, that's so embarrassing because I thought I was like healed and ready to move on because I knew I didn't want to be in that marriage. But clearly I was not. I had a lot of healing to do. I had a lot of healing that I had to do. And when I got out of that marriage, I hadn't had really dating experience because pretty much the first guy who really gave me serious attention, he put a ring on my finger in 3 months. And then, we were married a year after meeting. And so I didn't have history dating. So any guy who gave me attention, I was like, oh, 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 which is why I'm so passionate about teaching you guys. So passionate. Okay. All right. So drop the word course. If any of you guys are considering taking the course, I'm going to do something very, very special for you. Okay. Anybody who is willing to invest in themselves, I'm going to show you that I am actually invested as well. Okay. I'm going to give you, hey, Mariela, sorry, I just saw this. Hey, Delisha. Anybody who gets the course today, tonight, if you book it tonight, okay, because no one else knows about this and it's not going to be valid after the fact on YouTube, so don't even ask. If you book the course tonight and the date says September 3rd, I want you to, or actually, no, because I'll have your email address. I will give you a free coaching session, which if you look at my rates, you can see how much that is. I will give you a free coaching session along with the course. Okay. And I'm not going to cap it. Normally I say the first three, the first five. I'm not going to cap it. I want to show you guys that I mean business. I am literally willing to give up. My sessions are an hour long. I'm willing to give up my time if you guys are willing to invest in yourself. And so you can either use your session on the front end or you can use it on the back end. I usually recommend doing it on the back end of the course. So if you have any questions, you can ask it. You could be writing them down along the way or however you want to use it. But I will give you that. Okay. So those of you, I'm going to call you out who said course. Okay. We got Marisol. We have Jaleesa. We got, oops, let me scroll. Oh, it's not letting me scroll up. Okay. If you guys get the course, and you don't get an email from me, you can DM me on TikTok and say, I got the course. You can send me a screenshot. Better yet, do that. When you get the course, screenshot it and send it to me. That way I know for sure I can get it to the right person. And I will send you the discount code. I will give you a free session. Hope I don't regret this. A bunch of people sign up. Be working for a week straight with no pay. I want you guys to do the course. Okay. If you have any questions about the course, you can ask it now. I have put my blood, sweat, tears into it, y'all. There were many nights I cried with my students live. We did the live program because you just see what women are going through. And so many women said it is so nice to know that I'm not alone. The things that you think you're going through, you're not by yourself. I want you guys to be equipped. I want men to be eating out of the palm of your hands. But beyond just getting a man, I want you to have peace. I know what it feels like to be at the depths of despair. You guys, in a bad relationship, I was literally clinically depressed. I went and sought medical help. I was literally depressed. I just slept all day. I was so tired. I just was not myself. I couldn't do basic tasks like cooking, cleaning, doing laundry. Like I've literally been to the bottom. I am not somebody who came on here like, oh, let me get a following and be a dating coach. I didn't even know what that was. I was somebody who has been through it all. And I came on here and I actually didn't even start to help women. I came on here because I wanted to freaking understand men. So I came on here and I just started firing questions off on Facebook because I would go through stuff with men. And I'm like, what the hell? And my first question was, why do men ghost? I don't understand. And it evolved into this. Okay. So this is not something I sought out to do. It's something that I want to help women. And women started coming to me saying, I'm sure you got all the tea because you've been asking questions for years. I was like, oh, I guess I do. And then I had someone help me, to turn it into a business. But I have poured my heart into the course. I have never had somebody say they didn't enjoy it. And I do a survey at the end of my live course. I say, was it what you expected or better than you expected? And over 95% of the women, actually, I think it was 98%, said it was better than they expected. I put a lot into it. You guys are going to get homework assignments. You're going to get journal prompts. You're going to have reminders that you can go through, affirmations. Oh, thank you, Destiny. This is something that I am so, so passionate about. I'm teaching my daughter. She's already using it. She's only in, well, now eighth grade. She was telling me something about some boy talking to her, and I was like, happy to. She said, Mommy, I've been listening to your videos. I'm like, really? Take the course, you guys. If not for you, do it for your daughter. Do it for a niece. I want this to trickle down to so many women. It will get your mind where it needs to be. You will learn self love. You will learn how to put together standards. Oh, vetting. That's the other module I forgot to mention. You will understand vetting, what you should be asking when, what not to ask, what to look for. When I tell you, it's going to be so clear. Just like you understand fruit. If someone says this is a banana and they hold a watermelon, you're going to be like, it's not confusing to you. So get it. I cannot say it enough. And I know it sounds pitchy, but I want women to get this, start teaching their friends this, start teaching everybody in their life this. There should not be any women in situationships. And you know what happens if we all start understanding this game? We raise our value. Men will know that they can't just pick up the phone and call somebody or swipe right on somebody and suddenly, boom, get in a situationship. They're going to go to the door, locked, go to the door, locked, go to the door, locked, go to the door, locked. And you know what happens in real estate? When all the neighbors on the block agree about pricing, the price goes to what they want it to be. Do you understand that? If one person takes their house and all the average prices are 450 and they drop theirs down to 175, guess what happens to the market value? Okay? It's the same thing with women. Men know right now they can just tell a girl she's pretty and that she got a nice booty and boom, he's going to have whatever he wants. So we got to lock it up. Okay. So I'm going to get off here right now. So those of you who said you were going to get the course, get the course. I'm going to stay up. I'm going to stay on my phone. If the date says September 3rd, I will give you a free coaching session. You guys screenshot your receipt and send it to me. Okay, ladies, it's been fun hanging out with you. Good night, TikTok. Good night, Instagram. Good night, YouTube. Thank you for joining me.